Eat That Frog's ethos. We enable people to identify and overcome their barriers to live a more fulfilled life. We are based around people, values, and quality.
I have worked alongside Eat That Frog for at least 10 years. In my experience, they are a local organisation who are committed to providing a high level of support to the community. They work on a people-centred approach to use the funding to support their individual needs, often going above and beyond. They are responsive to our local needs, and they have changed lives by working with people to support them into employment.
I'm Mary Custody. I'm one of the project mentors on Focus Forward. One of my customers was Ophelia. She changed her life around.
I was looking for a job and I went to Pinty Library. That's where I met Mary. She always on my side. So we were doing computer course and then maths and then later English. She said, I can help you, Ophelia, don't worry. So because I was in stress, anxiety, I sat down with Becky and then she said that, you can do a voluntary job. Then I said yes. So I was so happy. I saw a woman also with English. So I would like to join in. So everything is like, everything I say, I want to do it because I was so happy and impressed what Mary put me through. I went to the interview for the voluntary and Mary helped me with the mock interview. They said, we would like to work with you. So I was so happy. I came back jumping, Mary, I've got it. I was so excited. The same Mary also helped me to do we were looking for a paid job. And then we got little old way. I got the job. So I said, Mary, I got the job. You know, I'm gonna work.
So my name's Joe. I was a hairdresser for 27 years. I ran my own business up until August last year, where I decided to retire. I just had enough. I'd done it for so long. Decided I'll just go and find an easy job. Can't be able to fill out a CV. I was quite shocked. Not one person responded. I got really disheartened to the point that it was really affecting my mentality. So after a while, I came to Eat That Frog and I got introduced to Trisha. She gave me some pointers that I made it too powerful, way too powerful for the jobs that I was looking for in retail. So with some help, Trisha, we ended up changing it some more. Finally, got a job interview. I was buzzing. So thank you, Trisha, for starting that. The reason why I retired is because I want to be a policeman. One thing they need is a qualification in maths. Now that is one area where I failed at school. So then I was introduced to Nick and also to Carol as well for maths. I can't thank you guys enough for helping me through all my understanding of maths. So eventually, once I get the qualification, I can apply to the police force. So again, I just want to thank Eat That Frog. I want to thank everyone that has supported me and given me the confidence, kind of made me back to who I used to be.
With Sky for secondary was in a mainstream school, but they just didn't understand about Sky's needs.
So you were at your old centre for about 6 years, and then 6 weeks before she was due to break up for the sort of summer term, we got told by a caseworker that they wouldn't be renewing her contract.
Transition from primary school to secondary school was absolutely atrocious. I think she did 5 days over 3 weeks.
3 days over 3 weeks.
And then just didn't go at all. They arranged for Wave to interact with Chloe and come to the house and do home learning.
Well, Ethan was home educated for 6.5 years before he came to Eat That Frog. I was just worried about what the future held, because obviously I didn't want that to carry on.
So somebody suggested Eat That Frog, and we went along. We thought this could be the best place for her.
And I stumbled across Eat That Frog completely by chance. I was literally ringing every centre to sort of find out what they could offer and whether it sort of felt like a good fit for Louise.
So Chloe had first a
Transition period.
a transition timetable which went over 7 weeks, and then had a proper timetable.
It was very easy actually. I just rang Jo and she invited us in to have a chat and a very informal interview.
They teach you better. Like, it's more like, it depends on, like, obviously your headspace. They'll, like, plan around your headspace and how you're feeling on that day, and then they'll, like, switch it at any point.
You were rotated to come in for a lunch. Louise had never sat and eaten in front of anybody. Even at home, she would sit with her back to everybody because that was quite a barrier for her.
So Chloe's now joined Student Council. Also, we're now going to Torwick Hospital to do work experience there, which is a big thing.
Kind of went from refusing to do anything that wasn't to do with your music or your interest to actually being more open to doing things that aren't specifically your interest but will be useful to you in other ways. We went from doing employability, then you got involved in doing pastoral, you went on to start doing your maths, and then this year starting on doing your English. So you've just been adding and adding. It's just getting like bored of the things that Ethan's willing to do and the things that you're willing to try and the way you're putting yourself out there.
Every week you do something to make you proud.
It was my first time going Elder Tree and getting 2 buses.
So Louise cooks in the centre on a Friday, and it's meant that your diet has expanded hugely. She's a lot more willing to try food, even if she doesn't like it, she'll try it.
How sociable and out there you've been. Like, I remember we came back to college from that, we went to visit a music studio. You just sat there and just started yapping and chatting with everyone. And I just thought that was a really cool thing to see, instead of seeing you go in there and get on the music and in the world. Just, it's nice to see you like engaging with people.
It hasn't been easy for her at all. And I'm really grateful that we've managed to find a setting that can allow her to achieve, because that's the most important bit, is finding that right setting, because there isn't enough.